Okay, what's this? What's this surface goal anomaly? That's what we're looking for. So in our research so far, we've discovered the surface goal anomaly. Now let's have a look at this part here. This seems to be the bulk of the surface goal anomaly. These large pink triangles represent high geochem goal values. And because we haven't found the GPS coordinates of where these samples were taken, what we've done is we've printed off the map. This is a historical map. This historical map shows this tenement, E592121. So we printed off this map, and we can see that the best cluster is around this corner here. So what we want to do is try to find the GPS location of this corner, and theoretically just go out and camp, spend a few days walking around this area, and see how it looks. So the question is, how do we find the GPS coordinate of that point? The first thing we have to do is make sure that the map was printed properly. So the scale is 1 to 100. We line the scale ruler along the scale, and we can see that, yes, it was printed properly. 0, 2, 4, so everything lines up. So then we come over and we use this edge of the map as a starting point. So we measure from the edge of the map. You have to remember on the scale ruler that this says 1, 2, 3, but this is actually 10 because there's 10 little marks. There's 10 units between 0 and 1, and each unit represents 100 meters. So this is 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. But when we measure on the map, we have to say this is 10. This is 10 units. So what do we have? We have, well, that's 100, 110, so it's about 114 units. We come up to the top of the map where the GPS coordinates are listed, and we mark off 114 units. So where's that? So this is 100, 110, so 114 is about here. So that's about 114 units. What we have to do is measure the distance between this known point and our mark. Sorry, that mark's a bit messy, but you get the idea. So the distance is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 400 meters. So what do? We add 400 meters to this coordinate. Now I like to use a calculator so there's no mistake. So what is it? 5 with 4 zeros, 5, 4 zeros, plus 400 equals, so that's the easterly coordinate. This is the easterly, so what is it? 5. So we have 5, 400. So that's the easterly. Now to find the northerly, we do the same thing. We use a constant on the map to measure from, which is this line here. So we measure the distance, 1 to 100. So scale's 1 to 100. We measure that, and it looks like it's just about 80. Remember? 60, 70, 80. So then we come down to this part of the map. This is the northerly coordinate. We measure 80 down. So then you measure from this point here. This is the northerly, 683, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. You measure that distance on the scale ruler at 1 to 100. What is it? 500, 6, 7, 8, 900. So 900. So add 900 to that figure, 683. So 683, 4 zeros, plus 900 equals, so then that's the northerly. So there it is, 683. So that's the northerly coordinate. So then you just put these two numbers in your GPS, go down this track, and somewhere in here you'll probably start going north. How far north? Well, it's very easy to see. Here you go, 1 to 100. You want to know how far north? Well, it's about, look, a bit less than 3 kilometers, see? See how easy that is to use this scale ruler? That's 1K, 2K, straight, a bit less than 3Ks. But of course the GPS will tell you that. So that's just dead reckoning. To get into this location here, walk around and have a go. Another way to get the coordinates would be to use the 10 graph. Use the pointer and you just point at a target and it gives you the easterly and northerly coordinates. Let's see. But it can be a little bit tricky sometimes because I found that many times these icons are not plotted correctly or they're off. So you have to be careful because when you're out in the bush, a series of hills and creeks, you want to make sure that you're on the right hill and give yourself the best chance at finding a patch if it's there. Okay, now let's talk about this project. You can see from the Mines Department topo map that this looks like a lake. And you know, there's gold been found on salt lakes before, and normally it's beautiful gold. But in general, unless you've got like a big series of gold mines that lead into the lake, you're going to find that these type of areas are very hard to work. The actual soil in the salt lake is very sticky. Obviously, you wouldn't want to go out there after a rain, any type of rain, you get stuck. So what we can do is come over to the Layers tab, and we go down and we choose Landscape Aerial Imagery. So that gives us a satellite view, and we get a better idea of what's going on. Now you can see that this area is just pockmarked full of little lakes, little lagoons. There is a road coming down through the lake, so the access is fairly easy. But as I say, you wouldn't want to come down here after a rain. So I would say, just looking at the topography here, I'm not really sure if I would put this on the top of my list of things to do. Let's talk about something else now. We can't let a salt lake scare us away. Well, from detecting maybe, but so we found something that's got gold and uranium. Now this could be a corporate play. Remember, there's money to be made by selling leases, but you have to own the ground first. So let's have a look. So we come up to this I want to tab, and we click on Mining Graticular GDA 94. These are the graticular blocks. Okay, so our project, unfortunately, is right on the boundary of 2 blocks, these graticular blocks. Why is that unfortunate? Well, look at the fees and schedule. Here's the application, and here's the rent. So if we want to apply for 1 block, $457, and 1 block license, $44. So for about $900, we could get 1 block. Now that's just more of a roadblock, really. You know, you won't get too much from a mining company for 1 block because they like to see, first of all, you have the strike and you've got quite a bit of ground for them to explore. So 1 block is just more of a nuisance, but still, at the end of the day, you own what's in the ground. For $900, you know, you get this tenement probably for the best part of 10, 15 years. So it's not a bad investment. But if you were very enthusiastic about this project, well, let's have a look. So let's go to find the mining tenement. Let's look for this tenement, E59 1257. E59 1257. So this is the tenement here, E59 1257. So you can see that it incorporates this 1 block as well. So here's the surface gold anomaly. It seems to be plotted fairly accurately on the map. So if you wanted to get all the anomaly, then you'd pretty much have to take all these blocks here. You'd probably take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You'd probably end up taking 15 blocks here. You'd have a nice tenement. It'd be a pretty good play. There's a lot of interest in the uranium sector. So saying you want 15 blocks, what's that going to cost you? Here's the application fee. Here's the rent that you have to pay up front. One block, $17.43. All of the licenses per block, so you got 161. So what's that work out to? 161 times 15 equals, plus your application fee of $17.43. So for $4,158, you've gone from being a prospector looking for a few nuggets to a player in the corporate sector. So another thing I have to show you, let's go back to GeoView. Okay, so here's our Nalbauer project. Let's say, for instance, that we like this project a lot. Well, actually we don't, because it's in the Salt Lake. But let's say we like this project a lot, and this might be our main point of interest for the upcoming prospecting season. So you wouldn't want to drive way out there just for one or two targets. This is probably the best tip I can give you. You come over here and you get into the WAMAX. You remember in part 2 we were looking at the textual search. Well, today we're going to try spatial search. So click on that and select this option here by polygon. Next, click next. And choose the rectangular shape. Next. And then we come back to our map and we draw a big polygon around the area that we want to work. And then we come back, click next. We choose the search button. WAMAX is gathering up all our reports. So we got 242 reports. Remember, I like to use the list option. So we get the list. Brings everything over to the left. You've got your map. And then you have to zoom back into the area here. Here's our target area. And then, as I said before, as you point to the report, you can see the area that the report covers. It's highlighted on the map, which is very useful. So 242 reports. What I'll do is come here now. I'll export it to an Excel file. Now here's all our reports. You can manipulate your file. You don't really need all this information, but so this is an important column. It tells you what the report is. Here's the date. I'll go through and select the bits I don't really need and delete them. Make sure everything fits on one page. And then as I go through these reports, I can cross them off, make a few notes. Any information I think is valuable, I'll print it off. So you can see how you end up with a big stack of paper. So this is my research for 2023. This is just one example of a map I have. This would be an A1 size print. I mean, you can see all the anomalies. That's gold in the soil. You need to go camping amongst these anomalies, walk around, and spend some time in there, and you're going to find a patch of gold. Any maps, I'll go to Officeworks, get them printed in a large scale, maybe A0, A1 size. So when I get out in the field, I've got plenty of information to chase. And more importantly, when I go to one spot, all the information at hand, all read, all studied. I'll have one map with all my targets plotted on it. I'll work out how to get in there, how to get out, which ones to see first. Most importantly, after you read all this information, you become an expert for this area that you've researched. So if things start making sense after a while, you know, where's this bore, where's that bore, where's this track go? So you've got your work cut out for you. But when you go into that area, you might have 20 or 30 targets to look at. So usually a couple of those targets are going to pay off for you. And hopefully one of them will turn out to be a big bonanza. celebrate the end of my research project, I've got 2 giveaways. First prize will win a scale ruler and this beautiful marshmallow rock. This has been created by my good friend Biggest Kev. Go visit his YouTube channel. He's got a lot of prospecting videos, and as you can see, he's a great lapidarist. That's Biggest Kev. And second prize will be a scale ruler as well as a marshmallow rock.